Well, package number 1 has arrived for the build, the Travelall build. You can get these shirts on the shop, but we have the first sponsorship package that has arrived, and it's a very needed part. Well, not a part, a very needed tool. I have a tool like it, but let me open the box here, put it up on the workbench, and I'll show you guys what came. So, what we have here is a MiG 200 from Arccaptain. This is a very, very technological unit. It actually has a processor inside of it. This unit does MIG, TIG, stick, has a spool gun attachment. Mine ain't got here yet. It does AC and DC, 110 and 220. It also does pulse MIG, or not pulse, it's stitch. It'll stitch weld. So very, very technical unit. They are the first sponsor that has come aboard the Travelall build. I'm very thankful for them because my old unit, not going to show what it is, but it's a tap style. Let me show you what I mean by tap style. Now, a lot of you in the know is going to know what unit this is, clearly by the colors, but for the sake of my sponsor, Arccaptain, and their new unit, I just wanted to show you something that is why this is really not the best unit for stuff like thin sheet metal, body work. I do have 23,000s in here, wire, and I run full CO2, so it burns hotter. But anyway, this right here is what kills this unit for me. Now, this thing on anything 1/8 inch or bigger, it's a monster. It'll weld it mint. But these type of units, even the 110 units, give you a really, really hard time on rusty metal that's thin. And if you're like me and you build these rat rods and stuff like that, a unit like this is real tough to use. Now, I know anybody says they can weld anything, but really, with a tap style unit, it's real hard. So, with the new unit that is infinitely adjustable, and by infinitely adjustable, I mean this is your volts. It's not tap. You can go in between, you can get real thin. It's just perfect, you know. And the thing I really wanted about this unit is the ability to get really low amps to weld thin metal, okay? Not only did I want this for aluminum too, because I have absolutely nothing that does aluminum, this unit will do spool gun aluminum and TIG aluminum. It's a scratch TIG. It's not like a ultrasonic frequency or anything like that. But again, aluminum. So this is going to come in very, very handy. And the other good addition to this, where it does have a spool and a TIG, it has all the same setups like a normal welder. But as you can see, pure CO2 or air, of course, argon for aluminum. But it'll do basically anything you want. I just noticed now it does say DC, but this unit is DC AC. It clearly states it online. This unit is, I mean, something very special. It's a very good unit. What is this? A light. I swear that's a light back there. But yeah, I am got a TIG for it. The TIG's right here. Scratch start comes with it. Got a new helmet. This is a true color helmet. I'll show you guys that later. But I'm going to get this thing all set up, get the wire in it, and do some testing on it. Before I get too far ahead of myself, I wanted to show you exactly what comes in the box when you order it, okay? The MIG unit itself, the MIG gun is inside the unit. In the bottom of the box, you'll find 3 different drive rollers, tips. That's your gas for your MIG gun, your nozzle. So that, it comes with a very high quality gas hose. And it also comes with your 220 to 110 adapter. So that way if you're wanting to run 110, and this ain't like a cheap China unit that comes, you know, you got to wire your own plug. Yeah, nobody does that anymore. So if it gets a unit like that, you don't want it. Alright, it comes with your stick welder, your electrode adapter. Again, already has the plug on it, ready to go for 220. Your ground. These are all DIN style connectors, high quality stuff. And your instruction booklet. That is what you get when you order this unit, and they are having a big Black Friday sale going on right now as you see this unit. But again, I haven't tested it yet. I am getting ready to. We're going to bust this baby out, and we're going to see what she can do. That's your TIG adapter right there. It's cool. It comes with a little clip to keep it on there, but yep, we'll have to hook it all up, see what she can do. But so far, I ain't seeing nothing that's bad. I wonder if it has a roller in it already. It does. So this thing comes with 4 rollers, which is probably going to be your hard face and flux core, and in different sizes. So I don't feel nothing cheap yet. Everything feels pretty good quality. Again, this is first time having this out. I don't know how long the ground and powers are, or the ground and the MIG is yet. I'm hoping they're at least 10 foot. You need at least 10 foot of wire on these things. I don't know if any other style will fit these, in case you wanted to upgrade to like a 20-foot gun, or you wanted to upgrade to a swivel head, you know, because everybody makes different things now. I'll have to find out that information later on in the video. But this unit, I think, is $3.99 right now for that. Now, they do have a Black Friday deal that comes with the spool gun, 2 10-pound rolls of wire, a welding helmet, a bunch of other accessories, and it's like 6 something. But this is what we're starting with right here, and we're going to find out how good it welds. Okay, so it looks like our ground is 10 foot and our MIG gun is 10 foot, and it's hefty, stout cable. This is pretty long and big, so I'm worried about it getting hit and broke off, but it's probably fine. It feels real sturdy. While setting everything up here, I did notice that besides there being one drive roller already on here, there was another one zip tied here, so we're up to 5 drive rollers. The gun itself already has a tip in it, already has a nozzle on it, and already has a gas diffuser in it. And also, the welding gun is 10 foot, if I didn't say so. So it comes with a lot of extra accessories right out of the box. I mean, I've had the other welder for about 8 years and only replaced the drive roller 1 time, and it still works fine. So, awesome. This one, 3 tips, the tool to take it off. It's set up for the 10-pound spools right now. All you do is you pull this off, you undo this Allen, pull this section off, put it back on, and you got your basic 2-pound spool, which anybody who's getting a unit's not running a 2-pound spool. Nothing like this. 2-pound spools are usually when you first get started and you're just learning. It was no time before I went to a 10-pound spool and ran gas, because it was just pointless to not run gas in a 10-pound spool. But yeah, everything so far looks real good. The unit's very clean. I know there's a processor in behind here. I'm not taking this unit apart to show you, because something would definitely go wrong, I guarantee you. But the unit's basically set up now, and I'm gonna try to pull my old welder apart, which I'm gonna use it too. But I need to roll a wire out of it right now to run in here and see how this thing performs, and try to learn how to set it all up, because it is way different than just a click and go. Okay, so it's a little bit of a learning curve on this one, because nothing I have goes in millimeters, but I just figured it out because it said it on the welding tips. And what it is 6 is your 25 or 23, 8, 30, 9, 35, and 1 is 40 thou. I've never seen 40 thou, but I guess this machine does it. What does it say? Any kind of thickness? 5 millimeters thick? I don't know how thick that is, but that's probably freaking huge. I'm gonna be running 30 thou. 2 millimeter is as thick as it goes, which I don't know what 2 millimeter is anyway. But that's what we're looking at here. That's what I'm gonna go with. Straight CO2. Of course, ER70S6, which is what I got. And now I just gotta put the roll in this unit. So I have actually pulled out the manual, started learning on this unit, did a couple of welds. It is very tricky to learn, okay? I'm not used to having so many different settings of wire speed, voltage, amps, and all this to try to figure out how it welds. So I'm going to spend a couple days testing it, getting it set in right, and then I'll weld some more. These ones aren't bad, but you can see where I was learning how the settings are. That top left one was my last one, and you could see it laid down really good. But I want to learn more on it. The blackish ones are my first ones. It was just like pop, pop, pop. Didn't have the wire speed high enough. Then that bottom right one, I didn't have it still fast enough, but I was starting to get the heat right. The other one, too fast, too cold. And then that last one was pretty good. But I have a lot of learning to do on this style of unit, where it has so many settings. But I will show you again after I learn it a little bit more, and I'll lay a bead for you. But just from what I've learned there, it's way finicky to set up, so that way your welds can be fantastic. So I've been doing a ton of learning on this thing. So this is a very advanced welder compared to what I'm used to, of course. So not only does it have the stitch function that I believe I've said already, but this has a wire spool function. And what I mean by that, not a spool gun, but if it thinks you're putting new wire in and you're holding the trigger to run it, it'll go from like 1 meter per minute, which is what it is, meter, but it's like, it's about 3/4 of an inch a minute, to 14, which is like 12 inches a minute, to shoot the wire through it quicker. Okay, which is insane. But it has like a synchronous mode that remembers your last settings. When you have a specific size of wire in it, it will actually run at a different amperage. Like this thing goes to 180 amps, but it only goes to 180 amps on bigger wire. So where I have the smaller 23 thousandths wire in it, it'll actually only do about 100 amps, because that's all it can really handle through that little wire. So it basically protects itself and makes you have to weld better And the reason why I say it makes you have to weld better is using a small wire like that on a thicker piece of metal, you're not going to penetrate good, so it won't let you get all the amps. Whereas other units, they'll let you put as much amps as it's going to do through it, and it's still not going to produce such a good weld. So it's crazy. This is a very, very advanced unit. I still ain't got it figured out. I'm going to work on it some more today, and I'm going to try to figure out all the settings on it. It even has hidden settings in the book where you can adjust your TIG's post and pre-flow and your gas flow and everything like that. It's insane. It's an amazing unit. For the price of it, it is phenomenal. I mean, what is it? I think I looked up. It's $3.99 right now on Black Friday. It is ridiculous. This is an amazing unit for $400. My last unit was almost $700, and it don't even compare to this. So I got to do some learning here still, and we'll try to lay some beads later. Test out the MIG function, which is the only function I'm really worried about because I'm going to use it the most. Now, I will do TIG later on and stuff like that, but for now, we're just using MIG because that's what all the Travelall is going to be built with. Well, I'm about to do a couple of tests on this. I have some 14 gauge and some 20 gauge. These are what I commonly use, okay? That's basically sheet metal, 18, 20, you know, that's basically your sheet metal, 22 gauge. If you got something newer, it's real thin. Older stuff, a lot thicker. This is 14 gauge. That's going to be more of your fabrication side of stuff. 1/8 inch, which is basically one step below that. And 1/4 inch if you're, you know, building control arms or anything like that. But this welder can handle everything you do. Again, I'm using 23 thousandths wire, which is a thin wire, you know, because I do a lot of thinner metal. So I'm going to set it up. But before that, I wanted to show you guys their welding helmet. This thing is a awesome piece. I got the bag on upside down. Let me see if I can't figure out how to open it. But I have two welding helmets here. Okay, where'd the hole go? There it is. Anywho, this one, my older helmet, if you look through it, again, it's green. It is not a true view. This new one is a true view. And the best thing is about this one compared to this one, this right here, that little view screen sucks. I've always not liked that. And now I've got double, maybe a little bit more. I've already had it out playing with it, but this thing is wicked nice. This is a true view. Let me see here. Show you guys through the door. So that way you can see colors. This is a true view. So only when it darkens does it go black, of course, because it's an auto darkening with some cool functions. This thing is awesome. It is kind of hard when you're in these classic trucks and some of them are green and you try to weld with an older helmet because you don't know really what you're welding because it's always poppy, flat, nasty, crusty metal. And this will help you see it better. I always had a hard time with this because at the angle sometimes you got to get at. When you put your head in a certain way, it'll go like this and you really can't see out of it. So I've always wanted a big view, full view, whatever they call them now. That one's killer. But let me set it up here on the ground because I don't have a welding table in here right now anymore. I took it out. But we'll set it up and I will start welding this. See how it does. Alright, so I've got my 14 gauge piece set up here. Got my welding helmet. The machine right now is set to 20 volts and 6 meters a second of run speed. on the wire. Now, volts and amps, I don't really, know them because, again, I've been using the tap style. I'm a home builder. I'm not a professional welder. I can lay some beads sometimes, but let's get this going here. Now, there's a lot of debate on push or pull style. Me, depending on how I'm set up, how I feel, I can do either way. One's going to be colder, one's going to be hotter, and also I'm using straight CO2. This will be nothing. So let's just get right into it. I am not wearing gloves. I know, safety, but I just don't. So let's see how this acts. Might need more amps, might need more wire speed, but let's give it a shot. And it also helps if I turn my gas on. Alright, let's try that again with gas this time. Gosh, I love this helmet. So, again with gas, this ain't too bad, but I can go up a little bit in temperature. But this helmet and this machine, I can really, really see what I'm doing. The that other helmet and stuff, I can't really tell what I'm doing. It's hard to see. This thing, oh my god, I love this helmet. Okay, we moved it up to 22.5 volts. We're gonna see now. I think my wire speed's too slow. Yeah, because that's laying down real good, but it's not fast enough. So. We took it from 6 to 8. It goes all the way up to 14. So, let's check it now. I'm looking for that right tearing paper sound. That, that's your good welds. And that's too hot when you turn the wire speed up. I just blew through. See? And it's a full process on these compared to the old tap style. So we'll turn it back down to 20. And we'll try it again. But that 23,000 blowing through 14 gauge, that's a good sign that this welder can really put out some power, I didn't want to blow through, but, learning this unit, learning the amps and the speed and everything like that. Now that's it right there. That is how you want it. That baby laid it down good. Pushing. It's still a little porosity looking, but that's probably just because the metal's so dirty. But that baby laid down a clean, nice bead right there. Gosh, this thing, I can see everything so clear through this helmet. I'm in love with this new welder. I might get rid of the old one, I'm not sure. But the feel, oh my god, the feel. Now that was push style. I'll try a pull style, which you can do either way. One's colder, one's hotter, but let's check it out. Now I'm doing what I refer to as the W style. Let me see here. That's a white paint marker. Yeah, I was doing better the other way, but those still look good too. But my style is not like that, like this. That's how I prefer to do it, because I know a lot of guys who do this. Well, if you got your unit set in right, your welder, every time you do that and you overlap, you're overheating your metal right there. You're warping it, you're causing more distortion. Bigger jobs like, you know, thick stuff, 1/4 inch, that's fine. Thin stuff like this is better that way. I can do a little loop-de-loop bead on this piece too. I still got a little bit of room. But I'll do that just to show you, you know, it probably works good on that way too. Yeah, you see, that style like this doesn't give you a real, I guess you would say, TIG like MIG style, which is what I like seeing, is the ripple effect. You know, it looks cleaner, it looks more professional. The loop style does work, of course, but it's not as pretty as this. So, now, that was 14 gauge. I'll show you the welds real quick before I switch over to the thin metal, which is going to be a lot harder to weld. Let me put my hood somewhere. My beautiful, beautiful new hood. But let's check this out over here. So again, that's the two styles. I'd prefer this style over this style. But yeah, this is push W. This is pull W. That's the loop. And that's me just setting it in. So there's major love on this one right here. I love that. That looks perfect for me. Okay, now that's probably not going to be a thing that I'm going to do on this next piece, because, well, it's thin. So thin metal, less amps. You're not going to really try to run a bead on it. But what I'm going to do straight out of the box here is I am going to put this on the lowest setting. Check that out. It made a little weld BB when it melted through. That's cool. Never seen it do that before. But this is, again, this is 18 gauge. I'm going to drop it all the way down. 11 volts is what we're at. Now, I'm not going to really try to run a bead, but I'm going to try just to see. And I'm probably going to turn the wire speed down quite a bit too. We're going to put it on 6. Again, it goes, what is it, 2 all the way to 14. So 6 is just below half. And again, beautiful unit so far. I mean, I am in love. Well, I'm shocked. That is a freaking bead that looks very good on very thin metal. That's what I've been looking for when I'm looking for a good welder, is the ability to run a bead, or as I prefer to call them, inch welds. Because when we're doing floors and stuff in these vehicles, these rat rods and body swaps, that's what we usually do, is we do an inch weld, move a couple inches down, do another inch weld, move a couple inches down, do an inch weld. Now, my unit, the other one, when I use it, I would never do that. I couldn't get that. It would be like, I'll show you what I do. That's what I'll do. I will literally do blob, 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 because it would burn. It's nowhere near as controllable as this unit is. But yeah, I could probably even go a little bit hotter on this. So I just went up 1 volt, 12 volts. Didn't change the wire speed. Sorry, getting over some sickness, but let's try this now. That's about perfect right there. It laid down real flat. And to run a bead like that on this is incredible to me. I mean, incredible. That right there is talking about stepping up your body work, like, to a whole nother level. Yeah, I understand you're not going to run a bead on a quarter panel, but to do like a custom dash or something like that, that would be perfectly fine. Because it's not going to warp that thick metal on the dash. That's probably 16 gauge. This is 18, maybe even 20 after I grinded all the paint and stuff off. So, it's amazing. I love this welder. Oh my god, I love it. To run a bead like this on here, it's ridiculous. Let me pause you for a second and figure out how to get this on stitch function and try that out. Oh, first, let me pull you up close on here. Look at that. That is how a welder should really handle. That one especially. Oh, it's beautiful. Alright, so literally you press the button 3 times, I'm in stitch function, which is awesome. So check this out. It auto stops itself. So it's hold the trigger, let it weld, move to the next one. So it's it's just like you were finger triggering it yourself, but it does it automatically. So auto does it. That is awesome. You want to talk about burning in a panel real quick? That right there, it's barely even hot. It's hot. No, I'm joking. It's hot. But compared to what it would be if you're sitting there trying to get it right, that's awesome. I love that. Oh, this unit is sexy. Oh. So, my dead honest opinion, it's getting ready to rain, but my dead honest opinion about this welder, it's amazing. I've only ever used the red and blue brand, let's say that, or the orange and blue, and it is tough to use a welder that isn't very controllable. Now, the red brand, you know what I'm talking about, is a lot more controllable than the orange. The blue and the red are the same, but this unit right here is just amazing. I love it. I can't wait to play with it some more. I can't wait to build the travel with it. It's going to be sick. When I can roll beads on thin, this is dryer metal, by the way. Thin dryer metal. see it effortlessly through this welder helmet. I am just totally, absolutely in love with it. This thing is going to come in amazingly handy. Amazingly. So, yeah, I can't wait to use this even more. But that's pretty much my review of this welder. Thin, thick. You can use so many different kinds of wire. You can use so many different settings. TIG, spool. It's basically a 6-in-1 because you got regular MIG, flux core. You got stick welder, TIG, spool gun, and stitch welder. 6 welders basically is what you're buying. Right now, just the unit is $3.99, but they're having a Black Friday deal, which has a unit, 2 spools of wire, gloves, that same welding helmet, and it's only $5.39. I think it's $5.39. I'll show a picture of it. But that's it for me on this welder. I absolutely love it. I have never used something so technological as far as a welder goes. It saves your settings, and it's awesome. But I'm going to get off here. If you're looking for just the basic unit, I have a promo code. It's the Big Guy Garage. The Big Guy Garage, all in capitals. And you can use my code anytime you want. It helps me and it helps you. So I'm going to go edit this video for you guys. And again, like, share, and subscribe. Watch the Travel All channel that welder's going to build. And keep watching.